What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting is an eating pattern where you cycle between periods of eating and fasting. It does not say anything about which foods to eat, but rather when you should eat them. There are several different intermittent fasting methods, all of which split the day or week into eating periods and fasting periods. Most people already fast every day while they sleep. Intermittent fasting can be as simple as extending that fast a little longer. Now, before we start this video, a lot of research and editing has gone to making this video perfect for you. So please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and gently hit the notification bell for you to get notified every time I upload. Now, let's jump in back to the video. Despite what you may think, intermittent fasting is actually fairly easy to do. Many people reported feeling better, having more energy during a fast. Hunger is usually not a big of an issue, although it can be a problem in the beginning while your body is getting used to not eating in extended periods of time. No food allowed during the fasting period, but you can drink water, coffee, and non-caloric beverages. Some forms of intermittent fasting allow small amounts of low-calorie foods during the fasting period. Taking supplements is generally allowed while fasting, as long as there are no calories in them. Types and ways of doing intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has become very trendy in the past few years, and several different types methods have emerged. Here are some of the most popular ones. Number 1. Fast for 12 hours a day. The rules for the diet are simple. A person needs to decide on and adhere to a 12-hour fasting window every day. According to a research, fasting for 10 to 16 hours can cause the body to turn its fat stores into energy, which releases ketones into the bloodstream. This should encourage weight loss. Intermittent fasting plan may be a good option for beginners. This is because the fasting window is relatively small. Much of the fasting occurs during sleep, and the person can consume the same number of calories each day. The easiest way to do the 12-hour fast is to include the period of sleep in the fasting window. For example, a person could choose to fast between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. They would need to finish their dinner before 7 p.m. and wait until 7 a.m. to eat breakfast, but would be asleep for much of their time in between. Number 2. Fasting for 16 hours. Fasting for 16 hours a day, leaving an eating window of 8 hours, is called 16 to 8 method or lean gains diet. During the 16 to 8 diet, men fast for 16 hours each day and women fast for 14 hours. This type of intermittent fast may be helpful for someone who has already tried the 12-hour fast but did not see any benefits. On this fast, people usually finish their evening meal by 8 p.m. and then skip breakfast the next day, not eating again until noon. A study on mice found that limiting the feeding window to 8 hours protected them from obesity, inflammation, diabetes, and liver disease, even when they ate the same total number of calories as the mice that ate whenever they wished. Number 3. Fasting for 2 days a week. People following the 5-2 diet eat standard amounts of healthy food for 5 days and reduce calorie intake on the other 2 days. During the 2 fasting days, men generally consume 600 calories and women 500 calories. Typically, people separate the fasting days in the week. For example, they may fast on a Monday and Thursday and eat normally on the other days. There should be at least one non-fasting day between the fasting days. There is limited research on the 5-2 diet, which is known as the fast diet. A study involving 107 overweight or obese women found that restricting calories twice weekly and continuously calorie restriction both led to similar weight loss. The study also found that this diet reduced insulin level and improved insulin sensitivity among participants. A small-scale study looked at the effects of this fasting style in 23 overweight women. Over the course of one menstrual cycle, and the women lost 4.8% of their body weight and 8.0% of the total body fat. However, these measurements returned to normal for most of the women after 5 days of normal eating. Tips for maintaining intermittent fasting. It can be challenging to stick to an intermittent fast program. The following tips may help you to stay on track and maximize the benefits of intermittent fasting. Number 1. Staying hydrated. Drinking a lot of water and calorie-free drinks such as herbal teas throughout the day. Number 2. Avoid obsessing over food. Number 3. Resting and relaxing. Although exercise can be beneficial, rest on fasting days is very important. Number 4. Making every calorie count. Select nutrient-dense foods that are high and rich in protein, fiber, and healthy fat. Number 5. Eating high-volume foods. Select filling yet low-calorie foods such as raw vegetables. Benefits of intermittent fasting. Research shows that the intermittent fasting periods do more than burn fat. Here are some intermittent fasting benefits research has revealed so far. Thinking and memory. Study discovered that intermittent fasting boosts working memory in animals and verbal memory in adult humans. Number 2. Heart health. Intermittent fasting improves blood pressure and resting heart rate as well as other heart-related measurements. Number 3. Physical performance. Young men who fasted for 16 hours showed fat loss while maintaining muscle mass. Mice who were fed on alternate days showed better endurance in running. Number 4. Diabetes and obesity. In animal studies, intermittent fasting prevented obesity, and in 6 brief studies, obese adult humans lost weight through intermittent fasting. Number 5. Tissue health. In animals, intermittent fasting reduced tissue damage in surgery and improved results. Is intermittent fasting safe? Some people should stay clear of trying intermittent fasting, like children and teens under the age of 18, women who are pregnant or are breastfeeding, people with diabetes or blood sugar problems, and those with a history of eating disorder. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch out for the next video.